Afternoon, everybody. So sugar beet harvesting commenced again this weekend. We started again on Saturday morning about 11 o'clock. We had Robert Black. He was back in again with 3 harvesters. We managed to get a further 70 hectares out at Great Dunmow. We've now had 105 hectares out at Great Dunmow after we finished the 205 hectares at Buntingford. The Buntingford end is all gone into the factory now. Roger Warnes has completed that and moved himself over to Dunmow last Thursday, where he continued to remove loads from Dunmow on Thursday and Friday into Bury Beet factory. So yeah, over at Dunmow we actually know what it's yielding, because the first field they lifted, they did the whole mouse line was for that one field, and that's done 77.5 tonnes a hectare. That's adjusted with dirt tears and also with the adjustment with sugar, with the sugars being at 16.5. So we're very pleased with that for being lifted in September. We're not too sure what Buntingford end has yielded yet, because it's a split across 2 farms and it's just, we've got to work the data out. So yeah, we'll let you know what that does when we work it out. But no, sugar beet harvest is progressing well. We managed to get everything ripped up behind the sugar beet harvesters. We've now had 176 mils of rain at Buntingford in the last week. Plus whatever we've had today, which is Monday the 30th, which is probably a further 10 mil at a guess at the moment. Burwell, where I have my council farm, we're over here today, and we've had 10 mil this morning, and last week we had 70 mil, so we've had 80 mil in the last 10 days, which is not too bad. We managed to get the winter barley in end of last week and over the weekend, so we've got 55 hectares. We plough pressed and drilled with a combination solitaire, Lemkin solitaire straight behind, so that's all in the ground. We'll look to preempt that and Avadex it towards the end of this week, hopefully once this rain goes through today and tomorrow, and work out what weather conditions are doing and ground conditions and all of that caper, and see how we get on. Yeah, so I know we're making progress. Today we're putting on some Digestate with a tanker, as you'll see from the footage here. This is going on to oilseed rape that was drilled about a week or 2 ago. So yeah, we're just applying 20 cubic metres of Digestate to the ground here, just to give the oilseed rape some fertilizer to get it up and going, and some vital trace elements as well, and also some P&K. This will be giving the crop around about 50 kilos of nitrogen, available nitrogen, so that should keep it going through the winter. Today is also the last day of the spreading season on crops, so for the next 2 weeks we will be moving on to grassland, i.e. permanent pasture, things like that, where people are going to graze sheep or cattle through the winter, depending on how long they can keep them out for. So that's what we're up to at the moment. As you can see, Ivan managed to give his tanker a bit of a clean this weekend, although it's getting a bit dirty again already. Bit of a thankless task, to be honest. So also we've had a bit of luck, like most farmers and contractors out there will probably be seeing at the moment. Fuel prices have dropped. It's been the first time for a good couple of years that we've paid under 60p a litre for red diesel. Last 2 loads, so we buy our diesel in 36,000 litres at a time, a full Arctic load. Last week it was 58.6, and the week before that was 58.2, I think, which is obviously making a massive difference to us at the moment, because it's, our busy time of year with cultivations and everything, and trying to save money where we can. It all helps but we don't need this weather to carry on much longer, because it's turning into 2023 autumn all over again fairly rapidly. So yeah, but also I heard this morning from a friend that it's looking like that we're not going to get the near-nick seed dressing for sugar beet next year, which is pretty disastrous. Somebody described it as growing beet would be like, next season would be like walking onto a landmine and blowing your brains out if we have a bad year for aphids, with causing yellow virus in the sugar beet. And if you get yellow virus, obviously it takes all the leaves and everything, so which means you get no photosynthesis and the beet don't grow. So it's not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. So we, not only because of price, but with no near-nick seed dressing, we will be cutting our acreage right back because of this. So basically with this tanker, as you can see, we've got a front snorkel arm on the front of the tanker, and that sucks the whole lorry load off. The tanker holds 28 cubic metres of slurry, digestate, whatever we're spreading, and that allows us to load quicker and easier using the snorkels, because we can load out of gateways, over hedges, and all of that sort of thing. Roughly time it takes is about 2.5 minutes to suck 28 tonnes onto the tanker, and then once he's done that, he lifts the arm up, the lorry goes away, he backs back into the field, folds his front arm down, and then he moves off to where he has just finished spreading, which is all on a map on the RTK, coloured in where he's been, so he knows where he's spread and where he hasn't spread. This tanker here has got the capabilities of doing 36, 32, 30 and 24 metres in widths on the spreading, so we can do a varied tramline widths, so we can cater for most farmers that are on those tramline widths. To be fair, in the UK it's very odd to find anybody on smaller than 24 and larger than 36. Some people are on 40 metres, but you can't buy a slurry boom that will do 40 metre tramline whips, just because purely the sheer weight of the boom, and also pumping the digestate and getting even distribution out of the boom. Unique thing with Samson tankers and that is that you've got the front lift axle on it for going down the road to save on tyre wear. It's front and rear steer on a cable which is linked to a hydraulic valve, so it steers in reverse and steers going forward, which is brilliant because it saves on cutting the ground up when turning into tram lines. The tanker also has a pump on it that will pump 16 cube a minute, which is 16,000 litres. So when you're actually spreading in the field, you can empty the tank in roughly, with turning, and if you come to a tram line and on, we work on roughly 3 minutes with turning and everything and unfolding. It's a high output machine. In my opinion, it's the best trailed tanker on the market by a country mile. The build quality of it is second to none. All hydraulic suspension, big 800 tyres. The booms are the strongest boom I've seen out of any manufacturer on the market. They're absolutely superb. We hardly have any downtime with the Samsons, which is touch wood. I hope I don't jinx this now. The main problems we have, and it's things we've learnt as we go along, that you need to keep changing the seals and bearings in the front pump and the macerators, and also on the front arm on the turbo fill, just to make sure. So we do this on like wet days to make sure we don't have any downtime in the week. It's very cheap to change. The bearings and seals a lot cheaper than having lorries parked up not earning money on the side of the road waiting for us to deal with a breakdown. So these are the main reasons why we've gone to Samson. It's just purely build quality of spread, and the computer system in it is brilliant. The electro-hydraulics have never let us down. Just the whole build of it, they have absolutely nailed the tanker market, in my opinion. We wouldn't have anything else other than a Samson. Yeah, we love it. The drivers love it, or love them, because we run 2 of them. Next time we might actually go slightly bigger on the tank. We might go to a 30 or 31 cube tank, just because, for instance, if you're coming to the end of the tram line and you've got, say, 3 cube left in your tanker, at the moment we have to go down the next tram line, which might be travelling away from the lorry, and spread that out before we can fit the full load into the tanker. Whereas if we had that little bit extra capacity, if you had some left in, it wouldn't matter, because you'd still be able to take the extra load off if it was a 31 cube tank. The tankers are fully auto-lubed as well, with an auto-lube system on the side of them. It tends to use roughly 2 grease tubes a day. So we'll go through, in a 5-day week where we're spreading with lorries, we'll tend to go through sort of 10 tubes a week. And then if we're spreading at weekends out of lagoons, or if we have a Saturday where drivers can work, and we have some additional drivers on Sundays, you know, we use 14 tubes a week. But yeah, that's the main gist of the tanker, really. It all folds up very neatly, where the pipes fold up, anti-drip hoses, so you don't get any digestate dripping as you're going down the road or travelling through the field. Yeah, it's a fantastic bit of kit, and hopefully they hold their money. This one here that you're seeing today is due for replacement in May 2026. So that's got to do all of next season, and most of the spring. We'll probably do all the spring, early summer spreading with this one in 2026. But the other one we've got is due for replacement after the spreading season of 2025, which is next year. So the first one will be being replaced next year. And it'll be interesting to see what the difference is between what it's worth and the new price. But we'll find that out next year.